What makes a great pre-workout meal? If you've ever stood in your kitchen and wondered, what the heck am I going to eat before this training session? This video is going to be for you. Pre-workout nutrition is not magic, but getting it right or wrong can determine whether or not you feel good and make progress during your workout, or if you feel like crap and bonk halfway through. And even though there are specific guidelines in place for what makes a good pre-workout meal, every single person is going to do it a little bit differently, and that's what we're going to show you today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dani Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching. And if you want a copy of our pre-workout guide for vegans, be sure to drop your email in the link down below, and it should be in your inbox in just a few minutes. So we have a special one for you today because we have all 5 of the coaches, myself, Giacomo, Ben, Alice, and Sawyer, are all in-house today, and we are all going to be showing you our favorite pre-workout meals at the moment. So you're going to see meals that are quick and easy to make, inexpensive as well. We all tried to keep these as low cost as possible. They're going to be high carb and high protein, and they're all going to be delicious. And each coach is going to explain to you why they love this meal and why it works for them as a great pre-workout meal. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hi everyone, this is my go-to pre-workout meal, and it is cream of rice. So when I'm considering a pre-workout meal for myself, I want something that has a lot of carbohydrates in it, something that's easy for me to digest. Rice, even white rice, is something that is very easily digested for most people. In addition, I have a little bit of fruit in here. I like to mix my carb sources when I do have a larger meal, just to keep it a little bit more interesting and not one note. So I have a banana in here, I have the cream of rice, I have some peanut butter. Peanut butter is gonna help slow digestion for the meal, so it is sustained, so it's slowly absorbing into my bloodstream as I'm working out. And then I have a scoop of protein powder to get our protein in. I usually have this 2 to 3 hours before I train because I like to give it plenty of time to digest. It's got a lot of fluid in it as well, and some salt for electrolytes, and that's why it's my go-to pre-workout meal. So for one serving, this is gonna come out to $1.18. I did make the cream of rice myself by blending up jasmine rice, but you can buy the rice pre-ground as cream of rice in the grocery store for a little bit more if you're looking to save some time. The macros on this meal, exactly how I've made it, are 713 calories, 36 grams of protein, 103 grams of carbs, and 19 grams of fat. If you wanted to make a smaller serving for yourself, that would lower the cost even more. So if you're somebody who is a smaller individual, you could probably half the amount of cream of rice, half the amount of banana, half the amount of peanut butter, and keep the protein powder the same, and that would be a more calorie conscious way of doing this meal. I hope you all enjoy.
Now you have to eat it. You gotta eat it on the camera now. Yummy.
Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is take your 80 grams of cream of rice, put that in a bowl. You're gonna add a pinch of salt to taste. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add 5 times the amount of water. So that's gonna be 400 grams of water, or milliliters. You're gonna whisk that up, and then you're gonna pop it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Depends on how much your microwave tends to microwave things. So exciting. So if it's on the less powerful side, you'll have to adjust accordingly. Now you want to then take it out and whisk it to break up any clumps that are at the bottom. You're gonna then stick it back in the microwave, and you're gonna do it for another 30 seconds or so, and you're gonna keep repeating this process of putting it into the microwave, doing it for 30 seconds, taking it out, whisking it up, and you really want to do less is more with the time increments, because once it gets stuck and once it gets really clumpy, it's hard to unclump. So once you've done that a few times, you're looking for a texture that is, it's got a little bit of water. It's a little watery because you're still going to add your protein powder. And then once you've added your protein powder into there, you're going to keep kind of whisking it up. So at this point, the protein powder has already been added, and you can see it's, got a pretty thick consistency to it. Kind of globs off a little bit. Then you're going to add your peanut butter into there. So that's going to be 32 grams, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. For the protein powder, that's just 1 scoop. So 30 grams, whatever your protein is. Then you're going to cut up a medium banana. So however big your banana is, you can weigh it out, or you can kind of just guesstimate it there. I ate the ends and did not put the ends in there because for some reason I just don't like it. And you can see my beautiful presentation of my cream of rice there. And that's how you make it. How feeling?
Hey guys, my name is Alice Robinson. I'm one of the coaches at Vegan Proteins. I'm a pro bikini bodybuilder. This is one of my favorite pre-workout meals. Very, very simple. It's a tomato soup with broccoli and crinkle cut carrots and some homemade seitan. It's a really big meal for me. This is probably my biggest meal that I typically have of the day, to try to jam pack all of my vegetables in there to make sure I get some sodium. I typically have a hard time getting enough sodium each day because I prefer less savory foods. So I will add sort of like a potassium salt. I usually use the Morton light salt as my preferred, and it just helps me to really stay hydrated. If you don't get enough sodium, if you don't get enough potassium in the day, like it can be really, really hard for your body to actually hang on to that water that you drink. So this is really strategic meal for me. It really helps me feel a lot better when I'm training, and it's super filling, super filling. So my homemade seitan recipe, I'll use something that I can bake typically, and I like to meal prep. I like to meal prep a bunch of them in advance. So I'll have them in the freezer and I can just pour that right into my soup every day before my workout. If you want a little bit extra protein, of course you can increase the seitan, or you can also use some nutritional yeast. So you get sort of like a cheesy tomato soup, which is good. So lots of things you can do with this, but this has been, and I've talked about this recipe before actually. This has been probably my go-to for several years. I don't change up this particular recipe too much. This is a staple in my day. I'll sort of get my variety, my nutritional variety with my dinner, maybe 2 dinners, because I do eat a lot. So the macros for this particular pre-workout meal, it has 408 calories, 31 grams of protein, 51 grams of carbs, and 11 grams of fat. This meal will cost you about $2.26. Oh, I need to eat it. Okay. I'm gonna eat this right now.
First things first, we're gonna weigh out the broccoli. I usually weigh out anywhere from 130 to 160 grams of frozen broccoli, and then about 60 grams of crinkle cut carrots. And then I'm gonna pour the tomato soup over. I'm usually looking for about 322 milliliters of tomato soup, something around there. It's a little more than a cup. I use water to just sort of bring the liquid line up so that it will cover up the vegetables, so that when it's cooking in the microwave, the vegetables will be totally covered and cook really nicely and evenly. I also put in my salt at this point, and I'll just pour in a decent amount. Go ahead and microwave it. Now that the soup's out of the microwave, I'll just add my homemade seitan, and there's anywhere from 120 to 150 grams typically, and I add that last because the seitan is already pre-cooked, so that doesn't need to be cooked in the microwave any additional time. And for this particular recipe, a lot of times I'll look for a creamy tomato basil soup. This Progresso can was not a creamy tomato basil, so I just added just a little splash of unsweet soy milk into this recipe. Hope you guys love it as much as I do.
Hey everybody, I'm Coach Sawyer, and this is my pre-workout go-to because it's very simple, it's cheap, and it's delicious. My highest carb meal is going to be before my workouts, usually about an hour or so. And this one's great because it's so quick to make, but it's high enough protein that it's not gonna make a huge dent in my calories without giving me some protein, and I get the energy that I need for the workout. So it's a really, really simple recipe. It's got 445 calories, 49 grams of protein, and it's got 58 grams of carbs and 6 grams of fat. So it's really great for people who are cutting, especially. It's gonna make your days easier when you're not either. So it's a good way to get enough protein in, have a low fat, higher carb meal before workout. And it costs only $2.55.
Right, you have to use some of it right there, actually.
Yes, ma'am. Oh yeah, that's my jam, baby. So first I start by putting soy milk into the blender, and then I'm adding all the frozen berries. Try not to splash it everywhere. And then you're gonna blend that up. You can add protein powder at this step if you want to. I chose not to this time, but you're just gonna make it into like a smoothie bowl consistency, basically. Try to get it all out of the bottom. You're gonna cut up the banana. I like to leave it in the peel to do this because It makes it easier to put it into the smoothie. It's all about efficiency, people.
Take it out.
Oh, no. Not this guy. Because then watch. Really delivery system. Then deliver it into the bowl, and we're gonna add the soy Krispies on top. If you like those a little bit softer, you can leave them in there for a minute, mix them around. Or if you like the crunch, you can just leave them how they are. I added a little bit of cinnamon on top.
So check it out. What you have here is one of my favorite go-to pre-workout recipes. This is as easy and as simple as it gets. Basically 2 ingredients. You have tofu and a piece of toast. And you season up the tofu and you make yourself a scramble. I am huge on breakfast, and this is one of my favorite breakfasts. It reminds me of like having a nice scramble like Mama used to make on Sundays, but I get to have this every day before I work out. 1, 2, 3. So check it out. Before I go to work out, I want to eat big and I want to get in a lot of protein and I want to be satisfied. I don't want to go to train on an empty belly. Tofu is really satiating. It's also super high in protein and it's so easy to work with. And you can get more used to working with tofu with all the other recipes that we have on our channel as well. This one right here packs a walloping 46 grams of protein. There's 460 calories in this dish altogether. You also got 38 carbs and 14 fat. Now here's a pro tip. If you want to eat even bigger than this, you can bump up the calories with about another 150 to 200 calories worth of carbs by doing a bagel instead of a piece of toast. Or you can remove the piece of toast and get this. You can use a different kind of tofu, a soy-free tofu. It's Big Mountain tofu, and that would actually take out all the fat as well. So it's entirely up to you. But 14 grams of fat down the hatch before you go train, no big deal. You still got all the protein you need and all the carbs you need. An absolutely delicious meal, and it's super cheap as well. This comes in at $2.36 for this whole pre-workout meal. Check that out. Set the stove to a medium or medium-high heat and use your favorite cooking spray. I prefer olive oil, and lightly spray the pan. Grab your block of tofu and use a fork and mash that up until you make a nice scrambly texture. And then once that is set in the pan, go ahead and grab your spices and get them in there and blend them up evenly. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of sulfur salt, and a pinch of pepper. You can also use regular salt, but if you do have access to sulfur salt, it'll make for an eggier-like flavor. While that's happening, you can go ahead and grab your piece of bread and pop it in a toaster oven. And while that's toasting, continue to mix up the scramble until it's nice and brown and well cooked. And now you're ready to plate this. Make sure you grab all the extras on the bottom. That's where all the flavor is. And you are good to go.
All right, everybody, I'm so excited to show you my recipe here, my pre-workout meal. This is a protein waffle with apple cinnamon topping. I absolutely love any variation of this, especially in the fall. The main ingredients in this are oats and vital wheat gluten and obviously apples, but we're able to turn it into this delicious thing right here. And it comes in at 99 cents. So before I go train, I really like to make sure that I'm having a good serving of protein and a good serving of carbohydrates. And this whole plate right here comes in at 350 calories, 27 grams of protein, 58 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of fat. So I have this pretty close to when I train, which is one of the reasons that I keep the fat low so I can digest it quickly and just go get done what I need to get done. So without further ado, I'm gonna go tuck in. Always forget that part. Do you know people used to yell at me for not eating on the YouTube channel? Like, you've got to eat. You have to eat the thing at the end. Just for you guys. That hits the spot on this cold, blustery day for sure. All right, let's get into it. So I'm making this directly in my bullet blender. I'm putting in 40 grams of oats, 30 grams of vital wheat gluten, and a half a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 packet of stevia and about a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Adding 2/3 a cup of water here. I'm just gonna blend this all up till it's totally smooth. So a couple things. If I'm eating like an hour to 2 before training, I'll use oats. If it's closer, I'll just use flour because it's got less fiber. And also someone's gonna ask if you can make this gluten-free. Yes, use oats and protein powder instead of vital wheat gluten. So I've preheated my waffle iron, sprayed it with cooking spray, and I'm just putting that batter directly in there. While that's cooking, I'm gonna chop up an apple. I think this was a Fuji apple, but I highly recommend a Granny Smith apple. I think it comes out a lot better. So I'm just dicing that into a small bowl, sprinkling it with about a half a teaspoon of apple pie or pumpkin pie spice, adding a tablespoon of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of water. And I'm gonna microwave this a few times, stirring it throughout. So what I want is for the apples to kind of start to get really soft and a little bit mushy, and I'm kind of smushing it with the back of my spoon. I want to get a little syrup going at the bottom of it. Now I like to overcook my waffle a little bit, so even when it says it's done, I cook it for another 5 minutes or so. And then I'm just gonna dump the apple and the syrup right on top of it.
Burn all of my fingers, every one of my fingers.
And there you have it, it's all ready to go. All right, now that you've seen what each of us eats before training, whose meal are you going to steal? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you have a pre-workout meal that you love that we didn't mention anything close to, I would love to hear about it. What did you guys think about this topic? Is pre-workout nutrition something that you're interested in? Would you like to hear more about post-workout nutrition or meal timing or anything like that? We love getting ideas from you on what kind of content to make, so please don't hesitate to let us know down below. And if you're a vegan who's trying to get in better shape, whether that means gaining some muscle, losing 10 pounds, feeling better and fitter, building healthier habits, or even competing in a sport like bodybuilding or powerlifting, that's what we do here at Vegan Proteins. That's what we've been doing since 2008. We coach vegans to get in the best shape of their life. So if you would like to work one-on-one with one of our awesome coaches that you just met, feel free to fill out an assessment down below and you'll hear back from us within a business day. We would love to be part of your journey. All right, and of course, if you liked the video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. It helps us so much. All the things I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of a YouTube video, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Feeling about the mustache. I decided to do it on a whim, and I'm like, do I like it? I don't know.
not have a mustache at some point recently?
I mean, I guess people can't really tell because it's like I still keep like a little bit here.
Yeah.
Some people are like, is there a mustache?
So is it like,
But
this
it's
is
like-
just
it's
kind
like
of blown
longer.
out right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I kind of keep it like that, but it's like, oh, sorry, do your thing.
Yeah, it's recording.
You gonna mention there's edamame puffs in there?
They can hear it from the gravelly sound.
When you screw it up, it's hilarious. Not you specifically, anybody.
Okay, I just realized you can't do proteins because it's too similar to this. Think of something else. But...
Damn it, Ben! This is gonna turn into molten lava in there, though, just so you know.
I'm panicking.
Give you a spoon for it.
No, I use my hands. I'm
A
sorry.
big spoon or a little spoon person?
I'm a big spoon guy. I love to shovel it.
You're good.
So check it out. These are the ingredients. You're gonna block it.
You're not gonna run through the ingredients. It's gonna be a voiceover after the fact. So.
There it is! Not on camera, not on camera. Oh no, disaster.
Wait.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hold, please. You should see what happens